Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.
Well, happy Monday to all of my beautiful people. Come on in. We got some probative information on the Nancy Guthrie case, and we're not going to be here too long, so we can go to Cole's service.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Well, hello, my beautifuls. Come on in. We've got a few probative things to go over before we get to the event for Cole, so come on in. We will make sure you are out of here by the time Cole's event starts. So come on in. Let's talk about Nancy Guthrie, and we'll be right back with you.
So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Well, hello, my beauties! Hello. I know we have Cole's event this evening. I was going to run it live here. I see that several other content creators are going to run it live. And quite frankly, this is kind of very personal and very emotional for me as is, because I know these folks, I know this family, and so I would really like to be part of the praying, and I don't really want to have my face on camera while we're going through this tonight. So I've made the decision. I've looked, there's literally everybody's running this tonight. Not having Betty on is not going to hurt anybody's feelings. We're all going to be worshiping together for those that worship and pray. But because it's a little closer, you know, I see these people regularly, you know, throughout the year, and this hits me a little bit differently, I feel, than maybe some other people. And like I said, you know, anyways, you guys get it. You guys get it. I don't have to explain anymore. You guys get it. So we're talking about the case of Nancy Guthrie. We've got a few probative things to go over. I'm just going to get you guys the information. You're going to hit it and quit it, okay? So everybody can get ready. We've got this down to about an hour, okay? I'm going to have to try to get this down to less than an hour so you guys can get on your way. It's 6 o'clock right now, Eastern Standard Time. This event starts at 7 Eastern Standard Time. So I've got 55 minutes or less. You guys are not going to be stuck with me too awfully long. Hello there, everybody. So let me go through, just say hi to you guys real quick, as quickly as I can possibly say hi to you, and then we'll get started. The real me too, Lisa B, always, it's nice to see you. Tammy, Lisa, and Buffy. We got another Lisa. It's nice to see ya. It's nice to see you, love. The Real Me Too, Let Them 66. Melanie, it's nice to see you. Angie, hello. Papa Fuss, it's nice to see you. Throwing those thumbs up. Thank you for that, Papa Fuss. It's nice to see ya. Dawn, Lockdown with April. It's nice to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Tammy, Maddie, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have? We have Mothra. Oh, no, I'm not. There's just something. I just feel like I'm not saying that right. Or it's nice to see you, Kathleen. Hello, 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 Show Poodles. Keith, it's nice to see you up in the chat this evening. Betty, this is going to be a tough case after today with the network box tampered with. Oh, yeah, we got some stuff. I mean, this is definitely turning to be... we definitely knew this didn't bode with robbery. I'm over the robbery angle, this robbery ring. I feel like we've all felt like there's something more here. We just can't, put our finger on it. We're like, we keep trying to make a round peg, fit in a square hole, or is it a square peg in a round hole? I don't know that you guys get what I'm trying to say over here. Like, I feel we've all felt like this underlying, something more is going on here than we're even contemplating, up in our cranium. So, Anita, it's nice to see you. Stacy, good afternoon, good evening, folks. I'm here. Oh, Pussy Willow Pender Cat. What is this? Figure it out. It's nice to see you, Mike. Oh, I missed a lot of people. Becky, Paul. It's nice to see you, Susan, Sassy, Rebecca. Oh, good gracious. I missed a lot of you. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm so sorry. It must have just popped up on me. I've got something funny, but again, I'm down to the wire because I know, you guys know I have been gifted with words, okay? There's never a time when you can come on the Bullhorn Betty channel and I'm not talking. My mother can tell you I've been talking since I walked out of her womb, okay? I'm a talker. So I've got 55 minutes to get through all of this stuff before we can get going, okay? There was a body found, okay? I didn't know there was a body found. There was a body found in Phoenix, and it was of a female. So, I mean, all of our antennas should have been up. I didn't even hear about this, which is freaking nuts. The body's not obviously Nancy Guthrie, but we're going to go over that because, again, when I saw it, the first thing I thought, Nancy Guthrie, right? Because how many women are missing out in the Phoenix, Tucson area? I guess it's a large area. So, I mean, there's a stretch there. But before we get started, Pussy Willow Pendercat's talking about cooking. I decided to make my thumbnail. Let me show you the beautiful thumbnail that I made. It's the one that's up here. Well, just to let you know about this kind of cool little thumbnail thing that I made, well, I forgot that I had stuck eggs to boil because I figured, okay, what do I feel like eating? I made this one. Let's change it. Oops, let me get this off. I made this one, right, the utility box one, which is the one I used. And then I also made this one, which I'm probably going to use tomorrow, right? And so I was here, and then all of a sudden, I hear this pop. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, Delilah must have done something. She must have known. I thought, Delilah must be doing something. I didn't say anything to her because I figured she was playing with a toy or something. And then all of a sudden, I hear this other pop come in here. I go, oh my God, what is going on? Delilah comes running in here. She didn't bark or anything. She just looks at me like, and then I'm hearing something else. I'm like, what the hell? I forgot I put eggs on the freaking stove. Not only did they boil, it boiled all the water out of my dish, and then pop goes the weasel. Guys, I've got egg and shell literally all over my kitchen, okay? If you want to know what happens to eggs when they get overcooked, they pop, okay? It looks like we've had a food fight. It looks like me and Delilah had an egg fight in the kitchen. So this all happened just a little bit before we came live. So I'm still in a little sticker shock of egg right now. Betty's egg salad sandwich is bye-bye. So Dad's going live. We'll be giving them away. away some of his followers. What? We'll be giving them away to some of his followers. What's going on? What's going on? I have done that. It's a loud bang. Yeah, it's a big pop. I'm like, oh my gosh, you've got to be joking. Mark the Shark is better. He's covering the case. I got to meet some people out there related to this this case. But anyways, getting back to this. So this is kind of weird because this is now, we're rolling into 6 weeks in the Nancy Guthrie case. And for these things like the utility boxes, like this is what's irritating, I think, a lot of us when it comes to this case, because we feel things like this should have been checked weeks ago, right? Like the manholes, like the when they started doing that, that was like, that should have been like protocol like number 1. Like you should have that already taken care of. So anyways, I didn't want to spend too much time, but this is not the right one. Okay, here it is. So the first one is the breaking news. Police reveal the ID of the woman found dead near the Phoenix Canal after the Nancy Guthrie speculation. So it looks like, I didn't hear about this. I don't know how I didn't hear about this. I guess, I don't know. Anyways, a lady had lost her life. They found a lady about 100 miles away from Tucson, and I guess the internet, I didn't hear about it, blew up over this lady thinking it could be Nancy Guthrie. The woman has been identified as Alex Fleming. She's 42 years old. I do not have an ID on her. I do not. Fleming's body did show signs of trauma, and she was declared dead at the scene. So we are dealing with a homicide investigation for Alex as well. But it's not Nancy. So I wanted to make sure if anybody thought that this person over in Phoenix was Nancy, it's not Nancy. This is somebody totally different, much younger. Yes, it's a homicide investigation. And yes, there's trauma to the body, but much younger individual. So just if you were concerned about that or had any other information about that or heard, you guys now know what the situation is. And we heard earlier today that there is a damaged utility box. And I'm looking at this utility box, guys. This utility box, it looks like it's got cactuses growing inside of it. First and foremost. Like, I was looking at some images of this box that they were looking at, and it does have wires in it. But it also has cactus in it. And I'm just like, I have never seen anything so full of crap in my life. These utility boxes should not look like that, but this one does. So definitely some maintenance from some of the utility workers would probably be needed at this point. Anyway, Savannah Guthrie, I thought we'd read this. And again, we're not going to stay on here very long. I know everybody that has been in the true crime genre that has covered the Sebastian Rogers case probably has a very soft spot for the E family. And, there's been some not so good news. The family is wanting to have a prayer. The church is opening up. They're going to have a prayer service over their son. They decided to unmask themselves so there's no confusion of the prayers or who needs the prayers. So we're going to be praying for healing for Cole Harris tonight. He's a bright young man, very sweet. I've met him multiple times. And again, like I said, this hits me a little closer than other people. You guys know them from the screen. I know them personally. And so I just figured, for me personally, it's not something I want to do live. I thought I was going to be able to do it, and then throughout the day, as we get closer and closer, I can tell that it's going to, I'm not going to do, I'm going to be praying, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to be celebrating, but I'm going to be also somber, also, a little melancholy. So I prefer not being on screen when all this is going on. Isn't Phoenix Maricopa County? I do believe so. Kim Lee, such a young woman. May she get justice served. Amen to that. There are other people out there. Telephone utility boxes are never well kept. Thank you for that. Yeah, this one was pretty bad. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm looking. Is that a cactus? It's about walking into my kitchen and realizing we had a food fight without being involved in the food fight. The food just exploded. I don't think I've ever had food explode before. I forgot I turned it on. I came here, I started working. That's what's wrong with me during the day. You know, sometimes I work so much, I forget crap. I just really forget crap. Anyways, let's get going. We're running out of time. Guys. Thank you for coming. So police in Arizona are probing a damaged utility box near Nancy Guthrie's home as part of the case into today's show host Savannah Guthrie's mom, who went missing about a month ago. The search for Nancy has entered its 5th week. I believe we're in the 6th week, aren't we? I thought we're done with the 5th week. I thought the full 5th week was done. We'll have to do the calculations. So this is all we know, is that the police are looking into a damaged utility box near Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home. The search for Nancy Guthrie is entering its 5th week. She was last seen... Oh my gosh. What if... Work with me here, folks. Hold on a second. Whoa, pump the brakes. We got a button for that. We do not have an area-wide outage, internet outage that we've heard about. We have just recently, I'm going to have to ask you guys are going to have to let me know who knows, who remembers the information. Just recently, we've all heard that there's a possibility of this signal jammer. Do you guys recall that? If you recall that, put a 1 in the chat. If you do not recall any article or anything related that there may be a signal jammer that was utilized that evening when she disappeared, put a 2 in the chat. Otherwise, you're a 1. So if you recall hearing that, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't remember hearing that, put a 2 in the chat. It's about a signal jammer. So I'll give you guys a few moments. Okay, so you guys remember that. Coffee Mug Place at the Memorials, the movie about the nursing home. I have to look into that nursing. Okay, so we have a lot of people that recall this jammer being used. Okay, we heard that there would be this jammer used because of one resident. What if, instead of them using a signal jammer, what if they went into that box and tampered with what they thought was Nancy's internet? Wouldn't that then explain why somebody else's internet went down and hers? Because my biggest issue was if there was a signal jammer, why did it get this residual data of this man at the, hey Jude, it's nice to see you, at this front door? You guys, are you guys with me on this? Because now they're looking at a damaged utility box. But we didn't hear about this like widespread internet outage, which a signal jammer could. I don't know how. Maybe I shouldn't assume. Let's find out how far for basic signal jammer. So you're looking at about approximately 15 to 100 feet. So you're not looking at being able to jam. And I'd have to say 15 to 100 feet is like one house. You wouldn't be able to jam up a house, 500 feet away from you, because these are big lots. So maybe it's not the signal jammer at all that's doing this. Maybe... just maybe, this just popped in my head, so I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting to go this. What if they decided to jam up the box that, I think there might be something here. Because if it's not the signal jammer and somebody had, some internet downtime, maybe that was a walkie-talkie. Maybe he was talking to somebody. Maybe it was to click the signal. Maybe they said, yes, your go. And they try to do something, but then why would he try to cover up this thing? I always keep coming back to the same thing. Why was this done this way? Nothing makes sense. But either way, let's get back to the utility box. So they said that there's damage to this utility box near Nancy Guthrie's home. The search into Nancy Guthrie enters its 5th week. She was last seen on January 31st, 2026. The mom of today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie was reported missing on February 1st after she didn't attend a church event. Cadaver dogs on hold as search for Nancy enters the 5th. I guess it's entering the 5th week. I thought it was entering the 6th week. I might have it off just a little bit. But why are they holding off on the cadaver dogs? And where are the cadaver dogs going to go? This is going to be another topic of conversation. So I guess my main concern is you would think that all of these utility boxes would or should have been inspected in that anything that can open and hold something, you would assume would have been inspected by either law enforcement or the FBI. So when I was kind of upset when we got back, when they went out there for the manhole covers, right, to check the manhole, because I felt like that should have been done like day 1 or day 2. Definitely not several days, down the pipeline. Because we were missing a person, and those manholes are very deep. And what about the septic tanks or wells in the area? Were all of those checked? I'm really concerned about some of this investigation, because things that I feel should have been, the signal jammer is more believable. Cut phone lines are tricky. I don't think they cut phone. Because the guy said the signal came back on. But even by their logic, looking into these signal jammers, it doesn't look like they radiate too far from the actual box that you're using. And these are on such large acreages of, large lot sizes that it doesn't seem like, it seems like 100 feet would be, the size of the lot, not really penetrating to the next neighbor. And from what we're understanding is that this neighbor is quite a distance. You could barely see their house from Nancy Guthrie's home. So I've always thought, maybe something else was going on. Maybe they just had some equipment that had went down to reset, or whatever the case may be. And because I didn't really hear about this widespread outage, and then when you this is the first time I researched the signal jammer, and it doesn't seem like the signal jammer really radiates out that far. So who would be damaging the utility box, and why would the utility box be damaged, and what kind of utilities is it? Because I heard somebody say the phone utility, but who uses phone anymore? Maybe it's used out there because they have bad internet. But then how are they getting the internet? DSL, like dial-up? Or do they have dial-up internet out there? Does anybody live out there that can give me an idea of what kind of internet they have out there? Because it seems like the cell service is poor, but it seems like everybody has internet in that community. So I'd have to think that there is some type of decent internet line. I don't see, a whole bunch of satellite dishes, so I don't think they're getting like Hughes or other satellite type of service. So I don't know. What kind of service are they getting out there in Arizona? Here, Delilah. Yeah, I never heard of an outage. Well, they did report, I do know that we did receive a report from Brian Enton using Starlink. Okay. That might make sense. Starlink I know is widely used with because it's better than like Hughes. Lots of different internet, mostly fiber. I like fiber. I got fiber here. I actually like fiber better than what I had with Spectrum. I don't even know what Spectrum was. I think it was cable. And they finally got Fios here, which is fiber optic. And boy, I have like 500 upload and download. Like that, like with Spectrum, I had good download speed. I had like 300 megabits per second, which was, it was slow, but it's just me. I don't have a family. And, but the upload speed, because I upload a lot of videos and stuff, was like 30 megabits per second. It was taking me like an hour Like, you know, I couldn't do it anymore. So I was so thankful when we had fiber optic and I could get 500 megabits upload. It was a game changer for me. That's what I'm so terrified about moving. When I move, am I going to be able to have this internet? Like, I've got to be very super picky about where I live just for fiber optic. I know some places still do have regular phones. We even have options to have both cell and regular. Okay. I got me a Starlink box. Thank you. Okay, that does make take a camping and fishing. Well, you take it with you for camping and fishing. Gotcha. So we had fiber in Arizona, worked good. Okay, well that makes sense. So you guys have good internet for the houses, just not good cell service from what I'm and I guess some areas are better cell service than others. But what would be the purpose of this damaged box? And how do they know the damage is from tampering versus, like I said, I mean, the freaking box looks like it's got freaking cactuses growing in it. Here, hold on. I just want you to see this. Like, it looks like it's got cactus growing in it. I mean, do you guys see that? Looks like cactus, doesn't it? I can't tell what the flip that is. It's cactus. Look at that. It does have cactus growing in it. There's some, like, I can tell it's cords, but that looks like cactus growing in the damn thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, what's really injuring this stuff? Is it really is it tampered? I'm not trying to make light of it, but is it tampered with, or does it have, you know, could you be able to tell whether that's been tampered with? I mean, that's, some type boxes are very easily to open. Don't want to admit it, but 20 years ago, my friend opened 12. Well, I remember back in my 20s, you know, because I did a lot of stupid shit in my 20s. But I was an electrician's daughter, so when my electric got pulled off, I knew all they did was go and put sleeves on those little things. So I'd go up there with my dikes and cut the little clip on it, the lock on it, and pull that off, pull the sleeves off, and pop it back on. I did a lot of, they don't make stuff like they used to, you know, they don't make stuff like they used to, but I remember doing that. I'd pop those off and take those sleeves off and pop it back on, and if they said something, I mean, I'd have my bill paid by the next, you know, bill or whatever, but, and you just kind of do what you got to do, but, I don't think I have ever been in a phone utility box before, whatever this is, but I can't tell what the damage is from, in all fairness. Did somebody, maybe what we're looking at is all the damage from somebody. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at here. It looks like a box of cacti. Okay. Oh, that box controls the whole neighborhood. Betty, that's a fact. Oh my goodness. Well, looks like I mean, I don't know how anybody that doesn't know. Like, I'm an electrician's daughter. I'm pretty, you know, I've seen these things before, but I don't even know what the heck I'm looking at here. I'm kind of dumb. I guess if you got some problems, you know, I would think they need to work on the cacti first. I don't know if they can get in there and fix that without removing the cactus. How do you let cactus grow in a utility box? I just can't. I can't. Little shop of horror. I was a bad girl. Like I said, I don't know why my mom decided to have another kid. But, you know, I guess I was a little fun. She figured the next one would be as fun as me before we got a mouth and talked back. Keep wondering how many wooden spoons Mom broke. No, I'm just joking. We love Mama. Sorry, Mom. Until I see footage of Tomato bringing Nancy to the house, then he's my number one suspect. Actually, U.S., to be honest with you, this is the first time I saw you in my chat, so I don't know if you were here earlier, but in we had Turkey Man call in, and this is when the image was released, and we talked about the image and the video that was seen of the assailant, and he told me he thought the assailant had a right hand injury. And obviously somebody in my chat, hey Shits and Giggles, it's nice to see you. Long time. Hugs and kisses, love. Hugs and kisses. It seemed like, and we just, of course, and then Luke was picked up and stuff like that, but he told us that it was that it appeared that the right hand, specific right hand, was injured. And so one of the audience members heard that, and, like weeks later, because I didn't really talk about Luke, I'm very, very cautious about not talking too much about, unless I see something that might rise to a level of maybe this is a person of interest or a person to be talked about. He does have some criminal history, which doesn't make me automatically think anything of somebody. And so I really didn't talk about Luke until somebody started sending me those photos of his right hand being swollen. And then we started looking, and now we've got videos of him walking into the room. And then I compare that to some of the movements we saw on the outside of the door. There's a lot of stuff that, in all fairness, may fit with Luke. Again, I want to caution everybody, I'm not accusing Luke of being responsible or even being on the outside of Nancy's house. But there are some things that I'm seeing that are very concerning for me, that are opening up a very much a worry box, not for Tommaso, but for Luke. You got to think, Luke wrecked his car. He needed money. This man's not working. Where is he going to get the money to pay for his deductible on his car? Maybe mommy will help him. Maybe mommy didn't help him. Maybe he needed to figure out how to find the money. Maybe he is the one that's been robbing people in the middle of the night and nobody knows it, because maybe some of the houses he hit, the people still haven't even returned home yet. Stealing copper. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can be had. I'm not saying he did any of these. I have no evidence that he's robbed anybody, that he's gone at anybody's house, that he was even on the outside of Nancy's house. I'm just saying that I did not bring him up at all until somebody sent me something that was observed by one of my audience members, and that was an injured right hand. And when he was in an interview with the lady to plead his innocence, that man had an injured right hand. Not only did he have an injured right hand, he brought this weird backpack in with him. Why would a dude bring a backpack in? We didn't see him walk in with it. It could be somebody else's backpack, but I find it interesting that there's a backpack at his feet next to him. And it looks like a girl's backpack, not a dude's backpack. So I've got a lot of questions, but then you have a ring. We all identified in the video that there was a ring on the ring finger, okay? Now, a man that's been to prison, that values, the little bit of jewelry they have a tendency to want to never let it out of their sight. Why? Because when it's out of their sight, they think they're going to be stolen from, blah, blah, blah. It's just the mentality of the type of lifestyle that they're living. And he has that type of lifestyle. So he would probably never take that ring off. It would be on a necklace. It would be on his hand somewhere. And I noticed that he had a ring on his married ring finger. Why would a man put a ring on his married finger when he's not married? That ring would have most likely been on his right hand, not his left hand. Yet there was a ring observed on his left ring finger in that interview. So while this does not say he's had anything to do with it or that he is culpable or guilty in any way, shape, or form, it does give us rise now for scrutiny. He wasn't being scrutinized by this channel previously. I dismissed him being involved in anything because I thought the sheriff cleared him. But I went back and confirmed he has not been cleared by the sheriff. And they've moved on, but they have not cleared him. And they may have moved on because they're waiting for results to come back from, trace and DNA and whatever the case may be. That could take months. So I'm not really, I want to be very careful on this because we have nothing that really connects that connects Luke to this case. But we have to remember, we know for a fact that his warrant was a federal warrant. It wasn't a county warrant. This was a federal warrant. That means that the FBI had to go to a federal judge and get a federal warrant, which has a lot more scrutiny. It's much more difficult to get a federal warrant. So how were they able to obtain this type of warrant where they could search his home and search his vehicle and person? And we're finding out that it sounds like Carlos nor Luke ever got a copy of their warrant. And we learned earlier today that there is a process that would prevent, or they could redo an additional request at the federal level or at the state level, the county attorney level, where they do not have to produce that because it could cause them to show their hand on their investigative side or put somebody's life in danger, or there's a variety of things. They ultimately have to turn it over, and they have to put a deadline date when they're required to submit that, and we don't know what that timing is. But they from everything I'm hearing is they never even received copies of either one of their search warrants. So it tells me that this is under seal. This is very, very, for me, a concerning issue. And so now that we do see his hand, now that we do kind of have, somebody that had scrutinized the FBI video of an unknown assailant, an unknown masked assailant carrying a handgun on the outside of Nancy Guthrie's door, and they determined that there appeared to be, for them, a right hand injury. So what in the bless is the coincidence of this guy having a right hand injury additionally after somebody identified the assailant as having a right hand injury? So these are the reasons why I'm saying not so fast. And so I'm looking at this and thinking, why would somebody be putting themselves in danger or robbing somebody's house? And then it comes back to the wrecked car for me. We learned that car was wrecked beforehand. So I started, and all this stuff started coming up right before this show. So that's why I wanted to try to make sure I had time to get all of this out before the event for Cole. And that's when I'm starting to try to, make all of the information work without having to put too much assessment or assumption into it. And is it possible that he was doing this for money to pay for his deductible to get his freaking car back? I don't know. Could it be something that stupid? I don't know. Did he have anything to do with this? I don't know. Did he have something to do? I don't know. Does he know some? I don't know. We have no earthly idea. The only reason why I'm looking at Luke at this point is that right hand injury. That's it. The right hand injury, and I've got to tell you, that a reporter did record Luke walking into that room, and I did find a very distinct walk, guys. I'm telling you, there might be a reason why the feds were able to get that warrant on Luke. And so I'm not, at this point, I'm not willing to remove him now that I'm looking at him. I was not looking at him when he first was named, but I am now. And then we found some problematic statements his mother made. It seemed like his mother was contradicting herself, and it was multiple times throughout a very small window of an interview. And so that doesn't look good either. And we can't dismiss these things, okay? So again, I don't want to call anybody out or throw anybody under the bus. I can't say Luke had anything to do with this, and I'm not going to at this point. But he's definitely rose to a level of where we're as a channel going to scrutinize him, okay? Until law enforcement or something comes out that clears him definitively, he's going to be on one of our short lists, folks. And we don't know what he was driving last night. We don't know what he's been driving since his car's been wrecked. Did he have a rental car? Was he using a white van? You know, there's a lot of stuff that we have questions for that aren't being answered. But moreover, this is an organized group. So if they point out one guy or put out information, it can make others be hard to capture. Exactly. And not only that, but would Luke be a part of something like that? And in my opinion, with him being in the substances and, you know, him having already a girlfriend that's arrested currently, I think he would have a crew. I think he would have a crew. And I'm hearing that Range Rover is his. Where did he get the money for the freaking Range Rover? You know, because I heard that it was sold to him. Did they find drugs? And we don't know what they found, Alba. We don't know. They're trying to get the weakest link so they can call them. Yeah, I believe they're locating somebody. Mike, Betty, we need to look at photos of his hands on the day he was pulled over at Culver's to see if they were swollen. We had that up, and I was trying to find him, but I could only find the car. Let's see what we can find. If anybody, while I'm doing this, if you guys find anything of that night, Friday, it was Friday, we determined it was Friday the 13th, so February 13th, Feb 13th, Culver's, Luke Daly. I know we had pictures of, what was it called? Culver's raid. What do we take? Impound. Culver's impound. So I find just putting different words in here help search. Culver's impound Range Rover Nancy Guthrie. Okay, so we're getting a little more warm here. So there's the Range Rover. I'm telling you, this looks like these tires look like what we're seeing in that photo. But anyways, the problem is the photos that we had of this guy when the law enforcement was standing, they're all gone. I think they were on Mike Ruiz? Let's see what we got here. Maybe Brian Enton. News Nation. Give me a second. Mike Ruiz. Okay, let's see what we got here. Media. Friday the 13th. Getting close because I remember the hips. I remember the hip one. Here we go. Here we go. We got pay dirt, folks. We got pay dirt. Okay. We don't have much, but we have a little pay dirt here. Let's see what we got. Full face of hair. Look at that. You can see the mustache and the beard. Why? Full face of hair. Full face of hair. And you're looking at his right hand right there. It's swollen. He's got it clumped a little bit as he's pulling his stuff. We can't see the left hand. So this is his right hand. So This would be, so his left hand's behind the dude. There's one a little further out. And we can't see squat here, but look at the shoes. And he has the face, and he's trying to cover his face. I don't like that. Look at that. He's trying to keep his head down. You know, he's not trying to be seen by anybody, but his hands, that's where everybody was like, look at his hands. He's got huge hands. That would be the swollen hand right there. And it appears, in all fairness, that it's not as swollen. It looks like it may have been injured in very close proximity. I mean, it does appear to be a swollen hand. That's a big hand. I think it was multiple vehicles involved, and they came into the neighborhood from multiple different ways, so they can beat the traffic in the area. No tattoos. No, we don't see any tattoos, and I can tell you he does have tattoos. We looked at the ones, his arms. He's got tattoos on his arms. This right here, let's see what we can go into. Can't really make this out, though. You can't really make it out. It starts getting too pixelated. There could be something there, folks. I mean, this is laying about the right size of where his other one came. So you're looking at the tattoo being a little further up on the wrist than this. So there still could be a tattoo. You can't see it, but there is some shading here when you blow it up. Because you got to remember, the gloves were on, and they had the thing, and when it came down, so it would be kind of right down here. So probably right in this area here. So I'm not sure if we're getting a good angle at it or not, but I would like to know that. But that's a good, Maddie or Angie. That's a good, and I know somebody else said it too. That's a good perspective. Laura said it too. Looks like it got it on big TV. Looks like it got it on big TV. Okay. So I can't really tell, because when I blow it up on here, it just starts getting so pixelated. And so I'm not really sure. I don't think we have enough, because he's in a full, and think about it. It looks like he's in sweatpants. Just an obvious observation. Okay, just an obvious observation here. I think that he's in sweatpants. He's in a sweatshirt, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to beat up an innocent man. I pray to God he had nothing to do with this. I hope that this is all for nothing. I hope we're wasting a whole bunch of time. You know, I would hate for him. You know, his mom seems like a wonderful woman. But there was something even about her interview that didn't sit right with me at all. And it's concerning for me. Hey, JH, it's nice to see you, love. It's a little concerning for me. But in all fairness, we're going to have to see where this goes. But I don't think Luke is out of the woodworks yet. And we don't have any confirmed he's cleared. And we have an injured right hand. We have an injured right hand. And and I know that Turkey Man was not the only person that noticed that the assailant may have an injured right hand. So I also don't think that his hands are injured. I think he just has puffy hand. Oh, you mean like water retention? Maybe it's not injured. It's just like it's, well, we've got photos of, give me just a second. Let me find where we're at. I don't know. That hand looks injured. It looks swollen. It's this hand. Yeah, it's this hand right here. I mean, I don't know. But look how flat his ring is. You see the ring? Look how flat it is. It's fat and flat. And we're looking at a fat, flat ring that we observed through the, sorry, I want to make sure I got
Luke
back.
is your son?
Mom. Let's see what else we have. Let's just open up a new. Let's see what we got here. There's just a lot of things, folks, that is that? No. But this is where it kind of looks like his hand is swollen here. You see? That's kind of where we're getting the idea that it's a swollen hand, but you know, it may not be. And this is what's concerning to me too, is look how thick a clothes he's wearing to this interview. I mean, he's got this thick vest on, he's got this flannel that covers all the way down to his wrists, and he's putting a tie on, and I know he's trying to look nice, but I mean, it's like 100 degrees out there in Arizona. Why such a thick flannel? And why is he trying to, because that night we could clearly see facial hair on him. Why did he clean his face? Why did he clean his face? Listen, we had 3 people accused. I want to point this out as well. Gas stations, that's going to be the biggest lead. I agree with you. You're probably right about that. Gas stations are going to be the biggest lead. But I believe, you know, there's 3 people that's been accused by the public. Okay, not, you know, there's been 3 people that have had major executed search warrants on them. Okay, Annie and Tomasi, Annie and Tomasi, Annie and Tommaso, right? We're going to count them as one. You know, we're going to count them because we weren't really looking at Annie, so to speak. We were looking at Tommaso, but even if we were looking at Annie, we're looking at Annie and Tommaso. We weren't looking at Annie alone. We were looking at Tommaso alone, but we never looked at Annie alone. It was always Annie and Tommaso or Tommaso. Okay, so we're just going to say Tommaso. Okay, we got Carlos, and then we have Luke. Luke was the 3rd one that we know of. Okay, so it was Tommaso first, then it was Carlos, then it was Luke. Okay? Out of all 3 of those men, only one altered his appearance. Only one appears to have a right hand injury. Only one is wearing a very thick, flat metal ring on a ring finger. Could it be on this hand? I don't know. It looks like the hand is swollen, but maybe somebody's saying, well, maybe it's not an injury. Maybe he just retains water in his hands. But this right here, this is what the picture I want to show you, is this hand looks significantly more swollen than this hand right here. You can almost see the water retention right around the knuckles on this hand, and how swollen how much fluid is sitting on the top of this hand. There's a lot of fluid on the top of this hand. There is no fluid sitting on the top of this hand over here. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of why I say he has a swollen hand. This appears swollen to me, you know. Also appears to have some abrasions. Oh, wow. That's about as thick as it's going to let me get. It's not letting me get any bigger. I might have to put it in there, but it does look like there might be something right there on his finger, right there. You might be onto something. You might be onto something. Maybe we need to scrutinize this a little bit more. But the journalist did capture him walking through the door. And there's a spot where the assailant turns around and walks toward the bush, or to get that leaf or that foliage to try to cover up the camera. And it's almost this little wobble. There's a very specific, what do they call it? A gape? What do they call it? Gate? I can't remember what the gate. Is that what they call it? A gate? Yes, he has bigger than one for sure. Exactly. But see, here's the kicker, US, is somebody called into my show when we didn't see this hand. And they specifically said that they thought the right hand was injured based upon the video that was released by the FBI. There were some people on Reddit that also made the same determination, that they believe there was a right hand injury. So it wasn't just the person that called into my show, it was multiple people that believed that the assailant appeared to observe a right hand injury. And then, of course, when somebody sent me this very picture right here that you're seeing, Gate, thank you, I really thank you. This right here, this is when I did not look at you can fact check me. You can go back through my history of all the videos that we've got on Nancy Guthrie. You will never see me really giving Luke a whole lot of attention. Not until somebody sent me this photo here of his hand. And because we had a conversation about the hand injury, it was top of mind. So when I saw this and I realized it was in fact on that right hand, we had already heard about this. What, you know, my common sense, my deductive reasoning tells me, what are the odds of somebody being observed of having a right hand injury in this video that the FBI put out, and us observing Luke appearing to have a swollen right hand? What are the odds of that? The odds are very slim. If you are looking at statistics, I mean, the chances of that being going together, the statistics are very low for that. They're not high. They're very low. So for that's what's kind of bringing me here is this hand. And I will be honest with you, and a hand's not enough to convict somebody. So I can't say that he had anything to do with this, but I can point out that this, you know, for me, is problematic. I've got a worry box very much open when it comes to Luke because of this hand. And then to look at his finger and his ring on the married hand, and thinking, how hard is it? I mean, my ring finger on both fingers are about the same size. What is it for me? Because I remember when I got a divorce, I took my diamond off one hand and put it on the other. Right? I took it and moved it from one hand to the other. But I was married. He's not married, and he's got a ring finger on. His married finger has a ring on it. That doesn't make sense to me. Because most dudes put their ring finger on their right hand. Why? Because the right hand is not showing married. Nobody wants to go to a bar or a club looking like they're married. No dude puts anything on this finger. Hey, medic, it's nice to see you, love. 15 minutes. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, that's the talking point. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. If you're on the replay crew, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think by sending me to Bullhorn Betty, sending your statements to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. We have another perspective we're going to be going over. This is from one of our audience members that I had an opportunity to discuss. See what all holds water. We got a lot of different perspectives. We need to start looking at them. We need to start deciding what makes sense for all of us. But I do want to thank you guys all for coming here. I promised you I would get you guys out so you guys could go to Cole's prayer event. I will be there. I promise you I will be there. I'm just not going to run a live. I was going to, and I don't know how I'm going to react to what's going on tonight. And I didn't want to be live because I know these people. These people aren't somebody I see on a screen. These are people that I've hugged. These are people that have helped me, with an event. These are people I speak to. These are people it's a little different. So I understand that for myself. And anyways, guys, let's go out and pray. We have, if you're a part of the true crime community, our true crime community needs you. If you're a prayer and you're religious, please consider praying tonight here in just 12 minutes for Cole Harris. He had a brain tumor. They operated on it. They've been fighting for a year, and the doctors are saying that the prognosis is not good, and so they're praying for a miracle. And they're wanting the whole world to pray for their son, Cole Harris. So if you guys could do that, I would forever be in your debt. If you can just take a few moments and pray for this young man's strength and healing and courage. I can't imagine how this must feel hearing some news like that for the entire family, but right now we just need to focus on Cole. So please, 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 if you're a prayer, please pray for him. Pray for an entire hour. Get on your knees, whatever we can do to try to move this mountain for this family, for our friends. Please help any way you can. All right, guys, thanks so much. God bless you. We will see you. I may do another live later tonight. I may do a video. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to sleep well tonight. I don't know what I'm in for today. I don't know how my body's going to react to all of this stuff. Sometimes I do well with it. Sometimes I don't. So we'll play it by ear, but please be over there. I think Justin for All is also running it, and they have a Facebook that's running it. So thank you, guys. We'll see you later tonight or first thing in the morning. God bless.